Welcome to the Gentlemen's Club. We talk about dating, relationships, sex, and everything in between. And the panel today, we've got Shaun Conroy, a friend of mine, and right-hand man, and Jess, my sister-in-law, and Abby, a friend of mine. And today, we're going to talk about can you make a girl attracted to you? Can you actually make it happen? Also, gay marriage, and some recent news on that. And firstly, though, we're going to talk about, has anyone here ever done it in front of kids? Sex in front of kids?
Only unborn ones.
Well, that's terrible. That's disgraceful. You really need to have a hard look at yourself.
No, I've never had the opportunity to do it in front of kids.
All right, well, that's a shame. I'm going to have to tell my story, which I didn't want to have to say this, but I met this girl on the Gold Coast, and I went home. I gave her a lift home, and she was staying at her sister's place. And then in the morning, we ended up doing it on the couch. I won't go into full details, but in the morning, we woke up. We were a bit. She was, we were a bit sort of intoxicated the night before. Woke up, crashed on the couch. Woke up, and these two little boys come in, like 5 or something, and they're sort of like, Auntie Sophie's got a boyfriend, and like laughing and high-fiving me and stuff like that. And I just thought, though, that it actually got me thinking, like, maybe as part of sex education, we should be doing it in front of kids more. Because you learn from observation, that's how they do it in the wild. What do you think?
No.
No?
I totally disagree.
You don't think you learn from observation? Does that make sense?
You do, and I agree that sex education is important, but I feel that... But I feel that children under 12, I think...
So after 12, they should be doing it in front of their kids?
Well, not in front of them, but I suppose...
But beside them? Or?
Yeah. Well, they're learning through magazines and, sex ed, they watch videos and demonstrations, etc. So that's important, but not under 12.
It's true, though. The sex education videos are normally sort of focused on what not to do, how to be careful.
There's exactly.
Any bit about how do you do it good.
Yeah, exactly. Sex education in high school was all about avoiding STDs, safety, and not about how to do doggy.
I think it should be
or
in
stuff
high
like
school.
how to make a girl orgasm. Like that would be important.
Most people are, myself, I'm a kinesthetic learner, I learn by doing, and I think kids tend to get the hang of things fairly, plenty early
So you just
enough.
learn from experience?
I think most people do. I think that's the best way.
Yeah, but what about, I just think it's a bit of a waste for, mothers, for example, your mum, to be handing down family recipes and not handing down tried and tested blowjob techniques. I just think that's... it doesn't seem a waste of sort of family resources or like learning you have to go through the whole learnings.
So are you saying every family should have a sex book that's passed down through the generations?
That's a good way of
It's called the Kama Sutra.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, just read a book if you want to know all that stuff. Pick up a magazine.
Men's magazines.
Sure you're quite familiar with the men's
so that's how you
magazines.
learn. Do you think?
I think that I'm even learning now. I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey.
You're even reading now.
I'm learning rather now. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey, and it's very, very sexual and explicit.
Learning different sort of techniques, or
well, just I suppose.
Interesting.
You've
So
got to
read
keep
a book.
developing, I guess, finding new techniques and whatnot.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Shaun obviously pull our information quite regularly, and we're not
Do we?
afraid to do it in front of each other. But I guess it's different.
Well, guys do that sometimes. I don't know if girls do this, but occasionally guys will say, "Hey, I did this the other night. It worked a treat.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try it."
Girls
No,
definitely do
Girls
that.
do that?
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it's more of a sharing of between, the same generation. We
I
share
did
their
this and he went
resources.
crazy and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Sharing techniques.
Yeah, okay. But doesn't it help to have it demonstrated? Like I'm a bit of a visual sort of person.
No.
No?
I think the icky, squicky, awkward factor that would create would far outweigh any benefit that you got from
What
the
about just-
demonstration.
Well, it's interesting. Like Shaun, you're saying one time we were talking about this, and you were saying that kids are learning a lot from porn these days. Like,
Yeah, I heard this. Apparently, because generations now are so exposed to pornographic material on the internet and things like that, they're starting to watch this from an early age because it's just there, and they're learning how to have sex through porn, which is not ideal because people in porn do it a lot differently to how people in real life do it, in my experience.
Stop. What do you mean? How do they do it differently? Like,
it's just different.
What do you mean? Well, no.
There's usually
less
fluids flying around, that's for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
There's definitely one sort of aspect of it that doesn't happen as much in real life. But I won't go into detail about it, but point is it's a lot different. So kids are going into having sex for the first time, only having watched porn and thinking that's how it's meant to work. And if you're a guy and you've only got porn as your reference, you're going to feel pretty insecure about you.
Well, not necessarily. If you can, probably. I think it gives you I think it works the other way. It gives you a bar to aim for. Gives you like. There's nothing wrong with putting high expectations and making sure you really get good.
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure on women. I mean, I know a lot of men that are religious porn watchers and they're quite obsessive about it. And
religious
then,
porn watchers, go to church and...
Well, you know what I mean, like they watch it very often and then, you know, they have expectations that they put on the women and then they're...
Well, what about but like Shaun said, the men too, like it's, you know, both of them...
But goes both
pressure
ways.
there.
Yeah.
I think the men put the pressure on themselves
they do.
far more than women. I think that...
Well, who puts it on the women? The men. It's the men's fault.
the men.
The women put it on themselves. Like a guy will, you know...
No, because you see this blonde-haired bimbo with amazingly perfectly round boobs and you just think every girl should look like that.
I see a guy with a small penis, I think, well, I've got him covered, obviously. I feel sorry for guys like Shaun, obviously, who...
who don't watch porn, is what he's going to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the reasons you guys are sort of resistant to the idea of doing it just to back on topic in front of the kids, and I should mention actually Heath, who's in the studio today with Jess. He's my godson and nephew, obviously, and but you guys have all, I didn't realise this, but all seen your parents doing it. That's probably why you're a bit negative towards my ideas, which I think are empowering.
It scarred me for life, James.
Really?
What happened?
Well, I just walked in on them, they were having sex and it was very awkward and they tried to cover it up very quickly, but obviously it was quite obvious.
They weren't under the blankets?
No, they were on the floor. You know.
Did they explain it to you, like afterwards? Or?
No, they just, instead, they bought me fish and chips to try and make up for it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You've been scarred for life, here's a potato scallop.
Yeah, here's a batter sausage. So, you know.
At least your parents tried to cover it up. Mine did not, and they finished afterwards. I heard them banging on the wall.
Oh, no.
And we'll have to, actually, that sounds great. We'll have to wrap it up there and go to the next topic, which will be, can you make a girl attracted to you? Have you done this before?
Get off your hands, Sarah.
So obviously, we've been seeing each other for a little while now, and I guess I've sort of got the vibe that you're after something serious, like a relationship, and I was thinking maybe more, you know, casual, like friends with benefits. Yeah, so, but look, you know, if I've led you on in any way, I'm really, really sorry.
Mummy.
Not now, Mummy and Daddy are talking. Okay, welcome back to the Gentleman's Club, and now we're going to talk about, can you make a girl attracted to you? One time, Jess, we were talking about the friend zone and how do you get out of the friend zone, and I said, well, you can make a girl attracted to you, and you didn't agree. You'd think, well, you're either attracted to them or you're not. Like, is that what you think?
I think there's either a spark there or there's not. I think the spark can grow, and I think that you can grow more attracted to somebody, but there's usually a little something there.
But you're not saying the guy has control over that, are you? You're saying it's not up to the guy.
Well,
what about?
You can't fake your way into, creating chemistry.
That's fine. What about Abby? Do you think a guy can use,
I think, like Jess says, it's important to have an initial connection with someone. If you don't have that, then I just think there's no point even trying, for me personally. But I think that can grow as well, like Jess said. I mean, you can charm a girl, there's ways to create that connection.
Yeah, all right,
also.
well, we'll just see this video. I think it can be very manufactured. So we'll just show this video, and which I did with a friend of mine, Jay, and we'll come back after this video. Okay, so when you're hitting on a girl, there's two main approaches. What most guys do, all over, commenting, oh, you look so beautiful, can I dance with you, what's your number, oh, come here. Or you can tease her, you're really short, you're not really my type. That sort of, and that's, if you're complimenting, if you're showing too much interest, that's going to turn them off. If you're too harsh and teasing her too much, she's going to think that you're not interested, or she'll just get upset. But what really gets a girl attracted to you is the balance, is using both of them. Hey, you're really hot. Pity you're not Asian, but you do look nice. Sort of balancing it out, balancing the compliment with a bit of a tease, So, oh, can I dance with you? I'm trying to impress that girl over there. Can I use you to get to her? Stuff like that, And when you're teasing, you don't want to come across too harsh, so you need to balance it out. Oh, you're so short. I'm joking, I actually like short. So hug her afterwards, after you tease her, stuff like that. So what really powerful thing to do is use both of them simultaneously, physically, verbally, teasing her, for example, but physically pulling her in, I know you're attracted, but you're just going to have to control yourself, okay? It can't happen, it can't work out between us. Or if you're going to tease her, or if you're going to compliment her, then push her away, like, yeah, you look, something like, yeah, you're really hot, I'll make out with you in 2 minutes, and get away from me. Like pushing her away playfully, like, yeah, you're really hot, now get away from me. So that's really powerful, doing it at the same time, and that's what really gets a girl attracted. Guys, so what do you think? do you think those techniques, or do you think those techniques, that sort of thing would work?
On me, no.
Well, no. Just in general, like you don't think that would work on you? Why is that?
Well,
if you were single and not married with a baby who's in the studio.
Because
you're breastfeeding currently.
Showing those kinds of on-off type signals.
Yeah.
It doesn't appeal to me at all. If I'm not 100% sure the guy's into me, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in.
What about the initial attraction? Like my brother never teased you, and sort of stuff like that. I was very clear that he was very interested in me right from the get-go, and he definitely did the chasing and made the running in the beginning of our relationship. Just like every guy that I've ever had a relationship with, I just don't think it works the other way. But I mean, I guess you're talking about like Abby. What do you think of that?
I think that I need to chase them. They need to be hard to get, and I think a little bit of that.
You need to chase them. Yeah.
I think that they need to be hard work for me to be interested.
Exactly.
So a little bit of that cold shoulder kind of technique with a little bit of teasing does work for me, actually.
Yeah. I think that's it. Like, girls don't want to feel like. They want to feel like they're working in some way for it, in my opinion. Like, if you're all over a girl, then she's going to think, well, hang on, why is he so sort of desperate and full on? It's like, I think it is a bit of give and take.
But you're saying that there's no in-between between desperate sad case and teasing, and what you're basically talking about, James, is trying to make a girl feel insecure. You're trying to make a girl feel insecure
necessarily. I'm trying
with
to make
just enough interest to let her know that you'd like to sleep with her.
Maybe a little bit.
Obviously, if
it's
you treat
not
her like
necessarily
absolute crap,
about.
She won't be interested.
It's
well,
not,
it is.
Jess,
Be honest.
You always get like this.
Be honest.
And
be
it's
honest.
not about making her insecure. It's about me being the prize, not the girl. You know what? Putting it in my.
So
what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Basically, it's about.
Well, then are girls making me feel insecure when they don't sleep with me or something like that? Like
not when
they shouldn't be making me feel insecure.
You badly. Do women treat you badly? Do they?
Yeah, they really have.
Well, you probably deserve it, quite frankly.
But
it's about maintaining the power, though, isn't it?
Exactly. Really? And what's wrong with a guy? That's what the shows are built on, Jess. I'm sorry, but if you have that mentality and you're making yourself the prize and teasing her, saying, sorry, I'm not sleeping with you tonight, sorry, I've got a headache.
Yeah, James says that
and
all the
stuff
time.
like that, and that puts it like reverse roles. It's great sort of stuff where you're making the girl chase you, and which I think a lot of girls like. I mean, maybe not for a relationship, but
hate to admit it, but it does work.
Well, that's the whole thing about the nice guys finishing last, and like that's the guys that are naturally good at it are wankers because they've naturally got this technique, I guess, that you've had to work on over years and years.
Which I've developed. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, exactly. It does, it can be done manufactured. It's obviously a lot of guys are natural. I'm not going to claim I'm a natural. I've just got techniques I think that work for me, and which I think make a girl attracted to me because I've learnt from when I've shown too much interest. You get shut down, they get bored, or you seem too desperate. When you're a challenge, girls love a challenge. And Jess is like probably the only girl, but I still don't believe her because Hugh has the power.
Really? All right, sure he does.
So I don't know what he, I wasn't there watching him, but I just think it's important to tease girls and put the ball more in your court where they're the one coming to you.
I think a little bit of teasing is normal and natural. And
exactly.
It's kind of part of a genuine
social
social interaction with someone you're actually a little bit keen on. It's all part of that energy exchange that you have with somebody, and a little bit of fight and argy-bargy is.
You can use it. It can be natural. I'm not saying you need to force it every time. If there's a natural spark, that's good. That's also great. Good. But if there isn't, and you just want to sleep with a girl, then do that.
Does that work for you, James?
Absolutely.
Tried and tested.
Absolutely.
60% of the time it works every time?
Well, we'll go to another video. No, we won't. We'll actually go to a break now, and next we're going to talk about gay marriage. Welcome back to the Gentleman's Club, and now we're going to talk about gay marriage. Well, Jess, you actually had a specific thing about this.
I have a bit of experience. I have a political background, and I noticed in Parliament last week they have basically decided to take away the formal aspect of gay marriage, and now it's a registration, much in the same way you'd register a pet with the council.
I'm here with Michaela at 2012 Sexpo with Pipedream store. How's it going?
Good, thank you.
You don't have to get that close to the mic. It's okay. This is just a standard microphone. Well, what are you selling? What are you selling here at this place?
We're selling a lot from fucking A to B. Ready? Vibrators, fake vaginas, fetish series, which is like crazy. From like
fake vagina, like a guys get off on just having a vagina sitting there on the ground.
You can pick which size you want, whatever.
I've never understood that because just a vagina sitting there. That's not like I'm not saying I don't like vaginas, but I prefer the whole what's around them is more attractive. But just the vagina sitting there. Like, why do a guy just does that?
Yeah, totally. Well, some guys out there, they're lonely and they can't get themselves a real one, so. That's where we come and help.
And what about for girls? For girls who are this stuff is obviously going to be. You got dildos here. Obviously, that's not for lonely guys who are really trying to experiment. That's for girls. What sort of, what's the best way to use a dildo effectively? For a guy, he's bought a dildo for his girl. He wants to know, he wants to spice things up a bit. What's the best sort of approach to sort of break that to them? Introduce the dildo.
Well, you say, I'd like to try this. Are you up for it? And then if they say yeah, of course.
Really? That's very upfront. I like to sort of trick them a little bit, sort of just spring it on in the mood. You get them in the mood first, and then slip it in what's this?
Oops, my bad.
You know what I mean? I don't like being upfront with girls because if you're upfront with a girl and say, hey, do you want to have sex? They'd say no. But if you got them in the mood, and then you get them into it, don't you reckon?
Totally. And then you bring the toys out. So you're going to be in the mood for it, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Personally. So, but I think that they should have a state-sanctioned ceremony.
What attracts you to a guy?
If he's really masculine and dominant.
Really? Yeah, so that's a looks or attitude?
Attitude and then looks, yeah.
And then looks. Yeah. So you go by a guy's attitude and then you think, not good looking enough.
Every girl's different, I guess. I'm more attitude and then looks.
Yeah. So you want a guy to take charge. Have you heard guys? A lot of guys these days are really shy and they want to. Girls are pretty intimidating to a lot of guys.
Well, sometimes guys just try to comment you and say, "Oh, you're really pretty," but then some girls take it a bit creepy in a way and get a bit taken back by it. But I don't really know how guys can really work their way around that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, guys think. But they might think you want something certain, like a different, you know, something in particular, like sex-wise, like a different, oh, I wonder if she'll like this. Does she want me to do this? Whereas I think guys should just do whatever they want. Yeah. And then the girl just like the attitude, just like the...
It's true. Like
guys should just dominate you, right?
Yeah. Nah, the more smooth the guy is, like, the easier he'll get a girl.
Yeah, smooth. That's interesting. Smooth, like can you be more specific? Is that...
Like, not make it seem like he's trying so much and be more casual about it? Yeah.
Like maybe have a camera and a microphone. Seems like he's doing an interview.
Maybe.
So that's the ultimate smooth, isn't it?
I mean, I live in sort of, you know, the inner city Brisbane sort of area.
Again, I'm here at Sexpo Brisbane with a couple of guys from Bad Boys Australia. Is that right? How's it going? What are your names, sorry?
My name's Zach, mate.
Sorry, what?
My name's Zach.
Zach, yeah.
It's Jason.
Jason, yeah. So what? A lot of girls like Bad Boys. That's you've heard that, right? That's why you're a official Bad Boy. Is that right?
Yeah. Treat them mean, keep them keen. That's what they say.
Treat them mean, keep them keen. Is that how you do it as well?
Yeah, I guess so.
So what does that mean? Like, you can't be a complete, you know, arsehole. Like, how do you, when you're picking up a girl, what's your standard thing?
Oh, well, you got to treat them nice and then...
And then reveal that you're an arsehole later, after you sleep with them.
No, that, you know, you get what you want, and then you can, once you've got what you want, then you can pretty much do what you want.
Is it important to make a girl orgasm?
Mate, I think as long as it is.
Yeah. I'll just say, yeah, of course it is.
I reckon treating them mean would be not letting them orgasm.
Yeah, but you treat them mean, and if you treat them mean and good at the same time,
treated, I reckon.
Then yeah, they'll come back.
When you treat a girl the way she deserves to be treated.
Which is?
Oh, it depends on what the girl's like.
Whether she's a slut or not.
Morals and respect, then you treat her the way she deserves to be treated. That's the way I say it.
See, I'm of the belief that I reckon you can make a girl a slut, even the good girls. They all have an inner slut, don't you reckon?
We make more money in an hour than a doctor does, so...
Nice one.
Do you think it's people from our parents' generation that are basically the reason why it's being sort of considered generally unpopular?
I mean, this is Sexpo, and it's all about sex, but girls find it hard to separate their emotions when it comes to sex, don't you think?
That's a lie.
What, you can just do it with a guy and not even care? Like,
depends how good it is.
Really? So if he's better at it, you don't get so emotionally attached. You know, mate, that doesn't...
Opposite.
Oh, okay. So if he's bad, you can have sex with a guy if he's bad and not get too attached to it.
Easily.
Yeah, but I say, okay, so so what's the point then? Like, friends have been... So would you, have you had, a casual sort of relationship before, with a girl, just...
Yeah, just sex.
And did she get too attached?
Nah.
Really? Yeah. That means you're bad, apparently. Oh, really? I was expecting things, different things at sex, but I was expecting, all, people having sex, obviously.
Well, Brisbane sex was really tamed because our laws are very strict with that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Melbourne and all that, they get naked and take their clothes off and pretty much have sex on stage. And
pretty much?
Pretty much.
Oh, the guys just come right before it goes inside? Almost.
That's what I meant, pretty much. But, girls can get naked and they can, do strap-ons and sit on them on stage, but here they're not allowed to do any of that.
We make more money in an hour than a doctor does, so...
Nice one.
Every child needs, lots of loving support around them, and I think everybody needs family around to help with that.
Well, thanks guys for coming in. Shaun, Abby, Jess, and thanks for watching the show, guys. The Facebook, if you want to look at that, it's facebook.com/TV Gentlemen's Club, and we'll be back next week with some new topics.
To relight the fire, but I know you're